Hi, well... Hold on. I think there's some shit on the lens. That's better. Hi, welcome back to my channel. The joke is that my hair's different now. I've been having a lot of trouble falling asleep lately. Or, no, not falling asleep. How do I put this? Finding meaning in the world. Anyway, let's talk about the Burbank City Council. I wasn't planning on making another Getting Political this soon after the last one. Believe it or not, I wasn't waiting with bated breath for the Burbank City Council to do something noteworthy. Here's the context you need. In my hometown of Burbank, California, restaurants have been having restrictions as to how much indoor or outdoor dining they can do to various degrees at various points during the pandemic. They can always do takeout and delivery, but given that COVID spreads through the air, you want to limit how much time people are spending in the same place at the same time not wearing masks. But one restaurant, Tinhorn Flats, has said, we're just going to do what we want to do. And if that follows the restrictions, great. If it doesn't, cool. And they got caught breaking the restrictions because, and this is true, people from Burbank are a bunch of snitches. So they got their health permit taken away, and the city council was having a special meeting to decide if their conditional use permit should be suspended or revoked or modified, or if they should just leave it alone and say you can break the rules if you want to. The city's lawyer sets up the case for revoking the permit, and that's boring. He really just says everything that I just said, except he gives examples and cites legal codes, and that's for people who went to real college. I learned how to tap dance. Then we get to the lawyer for the restaurant to make their case, and that's when the meeting gets markedly less boring.
Additionally, the pictures that were presented that were purporting to show service to people outdoors never showed any member of staff serving people while they sat outdoors. What was happening was that people were ordering food, and perhaps they were sitting down, taking a moment and eating their food outside, not indoors, not being serviced by the restaurant ever at all in those pictures.
Yeah, name one time that you've ordered food, taken a seat, and then eaten it all at one restaurant. I don't think you can.
Additionally, there's an allegation that 150 complaints from the public have been lodged. However, never has Tinhorn Flats ever been given the identity of any of these complaints. Additionally, 52 complaints were supposedly lodged between December 7th and December 10th, but no notice was ever given of any of the substance of those complaints or any of the identity of any of those complaints.
How could anybody be complaining about us if I don't know exactly who they are and what their fucking problem is? And if I did know, I'd treat them to a hot cup of shut the fuck up right from the bar at Tinhorn Flats. Burbank has a population of about 103,000 people. So if 150 formal complaints have been lodged, that's 0.1% of the population.
Everybody is masked. Everybody is appropriately distanced inside of the restaurant. Patrons are not allowed inside of the restaurant. So the health regulations that are in place that allow for a restaurant to continue operating safely have always been in effect, and there are no allegations that those have been violated.
So that's just not true. Just isn't. The whole everyone's appropriately distanced, we're not allowing customers inside, that's just totally untrue. And the way we know that that's untrue is that the people who were eating there filmed themselves while doing it and posted it on social media.
So they're citing these guys. They're citing these guys and they're not letting us pay for it. They're so awesome. I'm going to show you the inside as well. So they opened up the inside because they got cited. So what does it matter at this point? The citation is $500. They won't let us chip in and pay for it. They're so awesome. I'm going to take a picture with Lucas, who's the manager of this place. He's an awesome dude. Just want to thank him. And thank everybody for watching.
We just needed a livelihood. The American dream, really, to just capitalism, just to start your business and grow your business and make money and host people here, you know?
We should be able to have our restaurant open because capitalism. Oh my goodness.
I feel like we're being made of an example, and that it's really sad, the polarization between Burbank on its historical landmark.
They knew the rules, and then they broke the rules, and now there are consequences. So that's making an example out of them. Oh, so let me get this straight. Because I was going 80 next to an elementary school, now I have to pay a ticket? You know, officer, I really think you're just trying to make an example out of me, and it's sad. I do find it very funny that the owner was nowhere to be seen during the meeting where he could lose the right to operate his restaurant. But after the meeting, he was on Facebook posting shit like this about how the Burbank City Council is a bunch of fascists and communists. I don't know if you believe this, but they're not actually communists or fascists. So the city's lawyer gives their side, the restaurant's lawyer gives their side, and then we get to hear from the 65 people who called in during public comment. That's insane. And I listened to all of it. I obviously will not be going over what every single person had to say. But if there was an implodey to be given tonight, it would definitely go to this person.
All I'm trying to say is it's just really important to get people back out, because there's so much fear that is going on and nobody really knows what is going on because everybody is changing things from one to the next. And you can see the fear in their faces. And to actually sit down and go out and have communication and have, just talking to other people and without masks on, it actually makes it a really lovely time to be with people. And I just think that it's really important.
I can only imagine the lawyer from the restaurant going, "Oh, don't say that. Don't talk about bringing people together. Oh, don't talk about us not wearing masks. Please do not."
And as tasteful as that presentation was, Mr. Lepigian's presentation, as we listened to about we've been doing it this way since 1937. We don't agree with the rules. They don't apply to us. And people would do it anyway, all of which would equally apply to justify a heroin dealer or a casino at that location.
And my last point is regarding infections. Everyone says there's no infections that have come back from Tinhorn Flats. But hey, guess what? Do you think any of their patrons are going to run to the CDC and say, "I think I got it from Tinhorn, where there's no social distancing and there's no masks"? I don't think so. It's time for the city of Burbank to get smart with this con artist and tell him who really makes the rules.
It's me. I really make the rules. And my first rule, only girl bosses allowed.
I support Tinhorn Flat right to continue operating and their act of civil disobedience against unjust laws. As I watch you live on YouTube, I can see that none of you are wearing masks and are in violation of Burbank Municipal Code Section 1-1-108.1.
Very funny, quite droll, pointing out either that the people at home aren't wearing masks in their own home, or that the people in the chamber, who are clearly more than 6 feet apart, are not wearing masks, but when they do come in close contact with one another, they are wearing them. Very funny. But I interrupted you. You were saying?
Either close all businesses or open everything. Stop destroying small businesses. The real pandemic is fear.
Let me check the numbers. So the score as of today is 7 for fear. Not too bad. To, unfortunately, 517,000. So the real pandemic continues to be the actual pandemic.
Liquor stores opened. Walmart's opened. By the way, how many people have gotten sick from the grocery workers?
Yeah, they're the real menace here. Fuck grocery store workers. Let's just close all the grocery stores. Fuck them. And fuck the people who pick fruits and vegetables. And let's just get rid of sanitation workers and mail people and just kind of freeball society.
I would like to ask you guys, where has the flu gone? According to the California Department of Public Health, out of 6,230 influenza tests, only 4 were positive. 2 for influenza A, 2 for influenza B. That was last week.
How come when people are seeing other people less and washing their hands more and wearing a mask, there's no flu? It just doesn't add up. Next thing you're going to tell me, 1 + 1 + 1 is 3. And that's just insane.
In Germany, some citizens called informants passed on information about their neighbors, family, and friends to the Gestapo. The information passed on by these informants typically accused someone of breaking the law or of being a criminal in some way. The information provided was not always based on fact and could often be rumor or suspicion. I strongly believe that this is what's happening today.
Are you saying that people filing formal complaints against a restaurant are the same as people who ratted out Jews during the Holocaust? Is that what you're saying? I know you're not going to flat out say that, because holy shit, what a batshit insane thing for a person to say. If you're going to compare your situation to Nazi Germany, you better be damn sure that you are the victim. Then the city council could ask questions of the city's lawyer and the restaurant's lawyer. The council members all fit their roles perfectly. The seasoned council member asked a question she wanted an answer to. The vice mayor made jokes and asked questions we all knew the answer to, but he really just wanted to make sure he got his time in the limelight. The newly elected council members asked a lot of questions, really just make sure people knew, hey, I'm ready for this new leadership position I've been given. And the mayor just did a lot of in summary and summation.
But obviously this is not a court of law, right? And I know you have to get questions, but I want to throw that out there. This is not right, Madam City Attorney?
You're correct. This is not a court of law. It is a public hearing under our rules.
I really just want to make sure this Zoom city council meeting is not a court of law, right? Are you a cop? You have to tell me if you're a cop or a judge. If you're a stenographer, you're cool.
So I really don't have any questions other than just to make sure that I understand my options are revocation, suspension, or modification. Is that true?
That's correct.
Okay. And we have to make a decision after all the questions have been asked and answered according to the findings. Is that true?
Correct.
And then after we make that decision, we have to communicate that decision either verbally or in writing. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And then after we've communicated that decision, appropriate action will be taken based off the decision that we've made. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then after this 4.5 hour long Zoom meeting, I'm going to get a drink. Is that correct? Oh, you are right. I will have more than one. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me.
One final question that I had, I believe you mentioned in your opening that there was a picture that was shown by staff that you claim was actually a picture of Tinhorn Flats staff rather than patrons. If staff, are we able to pull up the slide just so the public can see what I'm referring to? And if so, we're looking at slide number 9, I think. So, Ms. Kazarian, just to confirm, this is what you are representing as a picture of staff members that's captured here?
I'm used to people pointing at the structures they've erected here in New York and going, well, it's not inside of the building we legally operate out of, therefore, it's outdoor dining. And that's whatever. They're wrong, but it's whatever. You want to say that this isn't indoor dining? Do you need to have a waiter shove a burger down your throat while you're surrounded on all sides by 8 inches of concrete for it to be considered indoor dining?
So, Ms. Kazarian, just to confirm, this is what you are representing as a picture of staff members that's captured here?
I believe so. That's the information that I have.
Okay.
And including vendors, not patrons.
Can you explain the distinction, staff versus vendor?
Yes, those are people who are working, who are I believe, delivering either food or beverage. I'm not sure which, but not actually customers at the location.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's fine.
Where does the county health department derive their power? Who gives them that power, and how did they get that?
Is it from the people? Or is it from the great kings of years gone by? Or has God given her blessing that her divine will be done by local health departments?
So we have heard ample public comment tonight, and we've heard plenty of folks that are speaking in support of your establishment. I have a fairly open-ended question for you. You've also heard the public comment that we've been listening to of some folks that are pretty upset by your establishment remaining open. My only question to you is, do you have anything that you'd like this body to know, anything that you would say in response to that public comment?
If they don't want to come in, don't come in. Just let the people that want to come enjoy, come on in. That's about it. It's as simple as that. If you don't want to come in, don't come in. If you want to stay home, stay home.
Okay, he's giving you a softball. All you have to do is say you're sorry people have had issues with customers and that those people don't represent us or our business. This is an easy one. Come on, you got this. Just be amiable and seem willing to compromise and you'll score big. Don't start none, won't be none.
All right, thank you, sir.
You know, operating a restaurant is a very slim margin. How much are the fees that they're tacking on every day when you get these violations?
About $625 every day.
Are you making a profit over that $625?
Not exactly. Not with everything else included, such as labor, taxes, and overhead.
I mean, you got big government over one shoulder saying, hey, you have to pay taxes. And then you got Big Brother over the other shoulder saying, hey, you have to pay me $625 a day that you wouldn't have to pay if you stopped having people inside your restaurant. Please, just stop letting people dine indoors. I mean, I just don't know what I could possibly do to stop this or how to budget it. Then we get to deliberation. All the city council members talk about why they came to the conclusion they came to, and then they reveal what that conclusion is. It's very suspenseful. All of them fall on the side of revoking the permit.
Yes, Madam City Attorney, may I ask you to weigh in for the benefit of the public? What next steps for their information that it could happen, likely happen? Need your opinion on that for the members of the audience.
This evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, members of the viewing public, council has voted to revoke Tinhorn's Flats CUP. That means that they no longer can operate their restaurant bar. If they do not comply, then the city's remedy would be to file a civil suit and to get some kind of order from the court to enforce the closure of the restaurant.
And that is just what happened. They did not comply, and now there is a civil suit against them. Breaking news! Good evening, and welcome to the news. I'm the news. Let's get into the news. Our top story tonight is the ongoing situation at Tinhorn Flats, where a young up-and-coming YouTuber, Harry James Miller, foolishly assumed that if he filmed the video on the 3rd, nothing about the situation would change by the time he got around to editing it on the 15th. The Los Angeles Superior Court authorized the city of Burbank to disconnect the electricity from Tinhorn Flats property. The court did not give the city the right to padlock the doors, but reserves the right to do so as a last resort. This caused supporters of the restaurant to bring generators to the establishment as a way to keep the lights on when the city said, "Lights out. It's bedtime, Timothy Horn." The restaurant plans on holding an event on the 17th to celebrate freedom and to get people to sign and notary a constitutional affidavit. We'll see if the semi-literate adult who makes these videos gets this one out by then, and if not, we'll have another update. For now, back to you, Harry. Have you ever watched an entire city council meeting? They're so boring. There's so much talking about how they're talking about something. And this was a special meeting where they were talking about one topic. Imagine if it was a regular meeting and there could be like 2 topics? Take way too long. If you enjoyed laughing at the general public just as much as I did, why don't you leave a like? What a cruel thing to say. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. That's the video. Goodbye.